to access my office or just to speak with me, unless it's happen chance or you're hanging around here or you're hanging around the Rustic Bean or the Buttermilk on Saturday mornings and the farmers market's open. I'm overwhelmed that this turnout, like, this is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to spin it really positive. I understand there's a fair amount of angst in our community, and I'm here to answer those questions. But I really, really thank you for owning it. And by that I mean for coming out and saying, hey, Chief, we think you need to do more, or we need more of your people. I got the great honor to lead an organization that is truly heartfelt, and they really believe in what it is we're doing, and we're really all marching to the same vision. I would be remiss, now that my boss is here, that I don't identify my boss. Chair Dean Pepper from the Police Services Board and Vice Chair Ron Curtis arrived, and they're my bosses. So like the world goes, everybody has a boss, so they're my bosses. So there'll be evaluation certificates. I've checked off excellent on all of them. All I need you to do is sign them. By all means, you can pose questions to them as well, and put them in the hot spot. I'm happy for that. So I'm going to understand that a lot of people here want to talk about the social issues that are confronting our community, like they are many other communities, and how they impact our daily life. I think I've been very vocal, and I want to thank Mr. Fisher, who's here, for allowing me the area to vent at times. But we're one cog in the wheel. So I've never used it, well, I have, but I will not use the term opioid crisis. I don't believe it's a crisis. I believe it's an epidemic. The reason I choose the term epidemic is the medical issue. I'm not convinced it's a policing issue. There are people who deal opioids who need to be arrested and charged. Staff Sergeant Banbridge, who's here today, led our drug unit for many years prior to my arrival here, can speak to you about the war on drugs. In fact, there are some people here, I'm going to guess by age, just guessing, I could be wrong, that were around when Ronald Reagan announced his war on drugs. Well, how are we doing? Okay, so let's just be a reality that this is the newest phase of the drug issue that's facing all communities. The issue with this particular drug is that it's a deadly one. It's very overdose prone. So that's the one thing. Now we layer in homelessness, and we layer on poverty, and we layer in social support systems, and we layer in everything else. And I've been very well quoted as saying, the men and women who work for me are the social service of last resort. You're here today because you're mad, or you're angry, or concerned, or you're upset, or whatever word you wish to put in there. And I'm here to stand and say that we're with you. Our officers are just as frustrated. Our officers are just as tired. And our officers are just as committed to a solution. But the solution isn't simple. And we need a lot of people at the table. And I've said we're not going to arrest ourselves out of this opioid epidemic, and we're not. We've had a significant uptake on criminal arrests in relation to drug trafficking, and that's where we sit. People bring drugs into our community. Fentanyl's not manufactured in covert. Carfentanyl's not manufactured. Heroin's not manufactured. Cocaine's not manufactured. It comes into our community. And the great work of our CIB team, led by Detective Sergeant John Linney, has really made a positive dent, not a hole, didn't end it, made a dent, such that now it's becoming more and more difficult, but we know who our players are. We are working with our Keep It Close initiative. Sergeant Janice McDonald is very, very active in that. We have hardened our lobby because we realized we were creating more work for Transition House, in the sense that Transition House would try to up their rules with people and make it more strict, and then they would get kicked out, and then they would end up at our lobby. And let's be really clear, I as Chief of Police cannot tolerate beer and pizza parties in the lobby of the police station at 1 o'clock in the morning. And that's what it became. Literally, I'm not joking. So we've hardened our lobby, and our rules now is that we will provide emergent care for anybody in a site of crisis. And what that by definition means for us is, all of a sudden tonight you don't have anywhere to go. We encourage you to come to the lobby. We've redefined our MHART team. So as of this morning, our MHART team starts every day at 7 o'clock in the morning at the lobby, meeting the people as they're leaving. And we are connecting them to social services that reside in the county. county has the ultimate responsibility for social services, and we make the referrals there. We actually drive them to the county building if they need a ride. And our goal in that is to this, and plainly this. If a person's not going to connect to service, then we're at a vicious circle that we're never going to end. So our lobby is not the place for that. Our lobby is a place for safety when it's needed. And that's cold weather, hot weather, or I'm just suddenly homeless. So let's dispel a few myths. No, we're not getting everybody dropped off from Belleville, from Peterborough, from Toronto, Oshawa, being dropped off here. Are there people coming from those communities? Yes. So there is evidence, and I've confirmed it. Somebody did reach out to me that there was a Belleville police cruiser that dropped off somebody at Transition House. So I have reached out to the folks there, and they told me that it was the Grace shelter in Belleville was full, and there was room at Transition House, so they were moving somebody to Transition House. Whether or not the county supported Transition House can support that or not, I don't know. That's not my problem. And you're going to start hearing me say that a little bit. It's not that I don't care, truly I do, but I can't carry the burdens of the entire social service system because it's burning my people out. So we do good law enforcement, we do good proactive community engagement. Auxiliary Superintendent Duncan Walker's here. Our enhanced visibility in the downtown, geez, I wasn't going to make a speech, no, I can't be quiet. So I get passionate about this, those who know me. So we wanted to access people in the downtown merchant area from the DVIA who have CCTV cameras to help us solve crimes of all nature. And their officers, these volunteers in uniform, volunteers, how many hours last year did they volunteer, Duncan?
4,800.
4,800 hours of volunteer commitment to our community. That's how many?
Probably around 9.
9 people. What they heard that the merchants and some of the residents downtown didn't feel safe. They didn't feel safe moving from their place of work to their car. So Duncan reported that at the command briefing, and that's how inclusive our service is at 8 o'clock every Wednesday morning. It's a very interactive command briefing. Duncan presents, and he presented that this was the outcry. So immediately the command team, Staff Sergeant Bramberts, myself, Inspector Shields, and Staff Sergeant Allison convened, and we came up with the enhanced police visibility and to address the transit shelter issues, which we were very successful. We moved them out of the transit shelter. Unfortunately, they're at Victoria Hall, but that's the problem. That's the problem we're encountering. And we came up with the enhanced visibility model, which is a auxiliary presence, a chaplain. It's our auxiliary presence, our special constables, our sworn officers, everybody from the chief of police to the newest volunteer is increasing our visibility. I had hand surgery last week, so I don't have a firearm, so I'll just have the standard walking to my coffee shop or for breakfast or for lunch is what I do. But Staff Sergeant Bamberg has done foot patrol already. Yes, sir. Staff Sergeant Allison will be doing foot patrol. It's an all-in. It's an all-in thing. My wife works downtown. Many will know her. She works at the Scotiabank here right downtown. She's worked in downtown branches and forever. And she doesn't have the same elements of perception of fear, but that's her. Other people have it. So we're here today to answer your questions, to ensure that I prove to you, not by what I say, but what I do, is that I'm approachable. You can reach out to me. I'll get your question. Thank you. I'm approachable. You can phone me. I'll do the best to connect you with whatever it is. So at this point, I'm going to open it all up to questions, and if anybody wants to have an offline question, I'm happy to do that as well. Right there, yeah.
You say you're approachable, your officer are approachable?
Yes.
I don't hear that.
Okay.
My car was broken into.
Yeah.
They say, let me hear about it, right? You cannot do anything, I understand that.
Yeah.
I call, it was locked. I get dispatch telling me, I don't believe you. If your car has no damage on it, I don't believe you. I have an empty battery, my lights are on. Nothing is taken, but my car was locked. I check it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, I can take your information. Who would I want to give my information to if somebody tells me first you don't believe me?
Well,
What's the point?
That's truly unfortunate. So what we're going to do for you, and my commitment is, sorry, go ahead.
Another incident I had, again, you guys wanna hear from me.
I do,
I
yeah.
call, I don't hear back, I leave an explicit email, I still don't hear back. I don't wanna go into the details, it's concerning to me. I don't hear back. I'm tired of this. I live across Transition House. I know this is not about Transition House, and I'm done talking about Transition House. These are other issues
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
having. I don't wanna walk my dog anymore at night because I don't feel safe. I'm a single woman. I had Christmas evening, not Christmas evening, Christmas Day, I had to call. They told me to actually call 911 next day. I had somebody trying to come in. 3 officers came. They were really quick. One was kicked in the face. Nothing gets done. Your officers were fantastic. That's what I'm living in. I don't feel safe. And you guys walking, it's fantastic. I still don't feel safe.
Okay, so I just want to follow up on a couple things there. First off, the officers should be reaching back to you. I don't know what dispatch said to you, but that's not our expectation of dispatch. Our expectation of dispatch is when you call about a crime, they may say it's going to take a little while to get there for call load and things like that, but they should be taking your information and dispatching an officer. First off and foremost. So the way you were treated is unacceptable, right off the bat. And that's from our dispatcher. So the staff's here. He's going to help me scribe some notes. I'm going to ask that you leave him your name and number because I want to follow up with this. Thefts from auto. When I said earlier about the how our officers are also becoming complacent, this theft from auto thing is where we see that complacency rise. So still doesn't. I'm not making excuses. I'm just providing an explanation for you. The way you're treated and people not getting back to you with a detailed email to the officer, I'm assuming it has your carriage of your matter. And if you didn't hear back, that's also not acceptable. So please accept on behalf of our membership and myself our apologies for that. But the staff is here. Staff will take your name and number. He's already got a couple names on there. I see a trend, and I've talked to 3 people, and I'm not. Scott knows already what's happening in my brain, and I'm not very happy. So we will be looking at this trend about why our officers aren't reaching out and reaching back and following up. It's obviously something that we have to do better at, and we'll strive to do better at that. But in the interim, you need some answers, and we're here to give you those answers. If not tonight, you will get a call back, if not from Staff Sergeant Bambers, but from somebody in our organization. More than likely the officer you're directly involved with, it'll probably refer back to him, but you will have answers within 72 hours, or you call me. And everybody here knows my cell number is posted. I don't hide from it. You can call me on my cell, you can text me on my cell, and I'll answer it. Saturdays, Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Monday nights. If you don't hear it in 72 hours, please reach out to me, and I'll make sure that you'll get the answer. And the person will be a little bit more sheepish when they call you if you don't hear back before you call me. Because that's unacceptable by my standard. Yeah, sorry.
Hi, my name is Cindy. I've moved to Coburg just the end of November, and I love it here. Thank you, everyone, for being so nice. My question is, does this police department have a community police liaison committee?
No. So where did you move from?
Toronto.
Toronto. Okay.
Well, I was the chair.
You were the chair.
Of the community
Okay.
of the CPC.
Yeah. So great. Those are excellent committees. Our community has